Today on CityCast Boise, the weather's getting colder, and you know what that means. It's cuffing season, when folks are basically searching for a snuggle buddy for the cold months ahead. But whether you already have a partner, or you're looking for one, or you're planning to romance yourself this season, here are some date ideas to warm your soul. It's Monday, November 6th. I'm Emily Means, filling in for Emma Arnold, and this is what Boise's talking about. Rosie Piper, you are a local date night expert. The seasons are now changing, and we're straddling fall and winter. What do you think makes this time of year romantic?
Well, I just love the fall time, so I feel like I'm very biased. I don't like the winter. I'm not a fan of being cold, but there's something about walking outside to like the brisk air and the leaves are changing. And if you're in Boise, it is truly like the perfect place to spend your fall. And I mean, personally, I just don't love being super sweaty. So like the summers in Boise don't feel super romantic to me. But the fall, there's just something about the weather that makes it feel just like a perfect time to go on dates.
Yeah, we're wearing our cutest, coziest sweaters. We're holding hands, kicking the leaves around. It's a very Gilmore Girls romance kind of thing, right?
Yes, that is speaking my language. There's just something about it. It just feels like, also there's so many like activities you can do in the fall that are very like date-like that's why I feel like the fall is truly the best time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to talk about some of the ideas you have, and truly, like we're looking at fall almost in the rearview mirror. I feel like winter is fast approaching, but just generally, I think this time of year is something people refer to as cuffing season, right? Which is when people are looking for a partner or a date to kind of like keep them warm this time of year. But the thing is that like once that cold weather hits, it's like really hard to leave your house. So I'm wondering, what kind of suggestions do you have for a cozy date night at home?
Well, date nights at home are genuinely my favorite thing to do because I'm very introverted. I love my home space. I'm very much a homebody. So whenever we do at-home dates, it just feels so cozy and like, I don't know, you're just comfortable. You're in your cozy attire. You don't really have to get super ready. If we're going to do a date night at home, we're huge foodies, so a lot of our dates do revolve around food.
It's about cheese.
100%. And there's, like fall is the perfect time to make like a cheese board. The food in the fall is like my favorite to make like a chili. Like we just made a Traeger chili this week for a date night, which was delicious. Pasta, soup, pot pie, all these things that you can like make with your partner too, because for a date night, like I don't want to make the food by myself. I want it to be like a partnership. I want like us, like maybe me to be like the head chef, but then we need like a sous chef on the side kind of situation. I also think like movie nights at home are so simple. It's a very easy way to keep your date inexpensive, but also obviously you're going to watch movies and TV shows with your partner all the time. So you just make it a little bit elevated. Maybe you have a Harry Potter movie marathon. You put the mattress in the living room. You make cocktails based around the movies you're watching. Yeah, I would probably do stuff like that. Puzzles inside. I love doing puzzles. I don't know if my husband loves doing puzzles, but I sure do. Baking together in the fall is super fun too as well.
Yeah. So it's really like about elevating indoor activities we do already, right?
Yep. I just think like anything can be a date. I always say like anything can be a date if there's intentional like mind and intentional thought put behind it. Yeah, you might do a lot of these things day to day, but if you say like, hey, I have a date planned for us tonight, be ready at this time, and then you have everything ready, it doesn't feel like your normal day-to-day activity with your partner.
I think another way we can make these kind of mundane activities feel special is by setting the mood. And so I'm wondering, how are you setting the mood for your date nights at home? Like, what candles are you burning? What tunes are you playing? Set the scene for us.
Okay, well, first, one of our like rules on date nights, I record a lot of my stuff for TikTok. So like I do still have my phone out on my tripod, but like we're not actively on our phones during date night, which again, sets the mood because normally day to day, I'm going to be on my phone while we're watching TV. Then for music, we either throw on a record upstairs. So we'll like pick out an album that we want to listen to, or There's a Gilmore Girls fall playlist on
No.
Spotify that we have been listening to constantly this fall. I just started throwing it on, and my husband will be like, What is this? Like, this sounds so good." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"It just sets the vibe." Normally, if we'll do a candle, we'll do any of like the Woodwick ones that like crackle in the fall.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely anything like that. Yeah, setting the vibe is definitely mandatory for a date night.
For sure, for sure. One of the things that's special about your date nights with your husband is that you have the one in the house and one out of the house. So let's say you're planning your date night out of the house and you have a budget of $100. What are you doing for a romantic date night in Boise?
Okay, so my favorite, like inexpensive, under $100 date to do is one, we'll go get coffee down probably in the north end, like near Java, like probably at Java or at Certified Kitchen, grab some coffee. And then we will walk around the north end, like on Harrison Boulevard, and we will dream up our dream life living in these homes because we would love to live down there. And it's such a cozy vibe in the fall. So we do this every year. We just literally walk up and down the streets. Whenever there's a house for sale, we're looking it up on Zillow. We're like dreaming of like the food we're
Yeah.
gonna make in these houses some days. And then normally, again, we're big foodies, so we would end the date going anywhere in town. If we're trying to keep it under $100, we probably would go to like Fork or Bitter Creek, anything like that near like 8th Street.
So is this like a day-long date that you're planning or?
If we were gonna do this for like a date and we wanted to extend it to the evening, we'd probably do like, I don't know, maybe start around like 5, like as the sun's going down and walk the streets and then go to dinner together. But a lot of the times we do this in the morning as well, which is a fun little romantic morning date as well.
Yeah, a good way to mix things up too, because I feel like there's so much pressure to like have date night, right?
For
But
sure.
you can have date morning too. Who
Yeah,
says?
dates can be whenever.
For sure. So, Rosie, funny story, if I may share this with you, and this is also kind of like a disclosure I wanted to share. I'm from Salt Lake City, but I just visited Boise for the very first time, and actually, I went on my mini honeymoon to Boise.
Oh, love.
So yes, so we had a very romantic weekend downtown, and I mean, we loved it so much. But let's say you and your husband are trying to get out of Boise for whatever reason, just for like a quick weekend getaway this season. Where are you going?
So normally we'll go like between two options. McCall is always an easy getaway. It's only 2 hours north of Boise. And you've got like the whole lakeside feel. There's really awesome breweries, great food. But last year we got away to Idaho City and stayed in these Airbnbs called the Smoke Jumpers, I want to say. And they're little tiny homes that are so cute. We could bring our dog back then. I don't know if they allow dogs anymore, but then you're also super close to the hot springs over in Idaho City as well. And you could have like a very quiet weekend because there's not a ton to do there, but it's still like quaint. And it's really, I think it's like under an hour away from Boise. So not a far drive at all, which I like minimal effort to get out of town.
Right. And sometimes it's hard to, make that decision to leave your city, right?
For sure.
Even if it's just an hour drive, you're like, well, I have everything I need here. But just an hour away, you could have a romantic hot springs, evening.
Well, and it's hard to get out of your routine, but normally once you do, you're always like, this is really not that difficult to do, and we should do it more often.
Yeah, for sure. That's just good advice generally, I feel like. But okay, Rosie, not all dates have to be romantic. We've talked a lot about like how you can spend time with your partner this season. But I love going on best friend dates. Like I've got my girl gang, right? And we're planning dinner. What kind of ideas do you have for bestie dates?
I love this question because everything with your girlfriends is just more fun, like, and way more cute as well, too. Like, I feel like we just get the vibes of a day out together. Something that I did recently with my husband, but I want to do with my girlfriends, is we went to a watercolor, like, paint and sip. And it's put on by Moonstruck Creations Co. Her name's Kaylee Hinch. And like literally walks you through a whole like paint and sip, but with watercolor, which I thought was really cool and super, I don't know. I feel like whenever I do something creative like that, I'm like, I should do this more because it's like healing your inner child, doing arts and crafts together. And with your friends would be so fun. Also, I love going wine tasting with my girlfriends. There's so many, obviously you can go out to like wine country in this area, but then also there's all the urban, I think they're tap rooms. I'm not really sure what they're exactly called, but they're down in Garden City and there's a ton that you can go to. And then also there's so many like at-home things you could do with your friends too, like craft nights. I saw people online like painting doormats for the fall with their girlfriends. And I was like, that's really cute. And I don't know if I could convince my husband to do that. So those are just some fun things to do.
How did your watercolor painting turn out?
Honestly, so good. I was so impressed with myself and my husband. His was really good too. And I'm like, was a little bit nervous going into it because I was like, there's no way that we're going to be able to do this. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, fairly impressed with ourselves.
Good work. One of the things I love about best friend dates is like, I think you kind of touched on this. We all dress for the occasion too.
Oh, yes.
Like, we're all like, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? I don't know why, but
If someone sent me like a mood board, like, hey, we're going out and doing this with the girls, this is the vibe, I would be like, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, this
Yes.
is my favorite thing ever. I so appreciate this.
and I needed this direction. So thanks.
Yes.
Okay, Rosie. Last question I wanted to ask you, just thinking ahead even further to the holidays, like we're quickly barreling towards Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yes. It feels like it.
And I think this time of year, there is a lot of pressure on people to find a partner. Your weird aunt is asking you at Thanksgiving if you're seeing anyone, and just a lot of familial pressure on, being in a relationship. So it might be the case this holiday season, this winter season, that people just don't find a good match or they don't want to partner up with anyone. But maybe they still want to experience all these fun things that we've talked about on their own. What sort of advice do you have for people to date themselves this season?
I love this because this is actually something I'm working on even in a committed relationship, is getting out and doing something solo, because not always can you find a friend to do stuff with you or your partner, or maybe you just are single. Truly, like getting out and just trying things by yourself. Generally, you get out and you realize no one cares that I'm doing these different things, and you can make a lot of really great memories and potentially meet friends or people that you might want to spend time with in the mix. I think in this holiday season, like something simple that you could go do by yourself is in Caldwell, they have all the lights they like put up around like Indian Creek Plaza, I want to say. You could easily just go get some hot chocolate and walk around there, put in some headphones and like set the vibe yourself, and be able to still experience all of these beautiful things that the holiday season offers and the fall season offers just by yourself as well.
Great advice for everyone, whether you're in a relationship or not. So, okay, Rosie Piper, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us.
Of course, it was so good to talk to you, Emily.
That's all for today here on CityCast Boise. If you enjoyed the show, why not leave us a review? We'll be back tomorrow morning with more local stories from around the city. Bye!